It was 2:47 a.m. when Sarah's phone buzzed with a text that would change everything. Her business partner had just sent her a message so betraying, so vicious, that her hands shook as she read it. The blood rushed to her face. Her heart pounded like a war drum. Every fiber of her being screamed for revenge. She started typing furiously, exposing his lies, threatening legal action. Her finger hovered over the send button. One click would unleash 3 years of suppressed fury. But something made her stop. She set the phone down and walked away. The next morning, she discovered the truth. Her partner's phone had been hacked. The message wasn't from him at all. That moment of pause, those few seconds between trigger and response, saved her entire career. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You are being controlled. Every day, your emotions are hijacked by other people's words and actions. Your boss pushes your buttons and you react. Someone challenges your ideas and you get defensive. In that moment of perfect non-reaction, she didn't just maintain authority, she demonstrated it. The neuroscience truth: when triggered, your amygdala floods your body with stress hormones in 0.2 seconds, hijacking rational thinking. But between trigger and reaction, there's a choice window. Leaders learn to stretch that gap from milliseconds to seconds. The cost of reactivity. Every emotional reaction reveals your weaknesses, gives away negotiating power, and teaches others exactly how to control you. The power of non-reaction. When you don't react, you maintain dignity, force others to deal with substance over emotion, and demonstrate self-mastery that intimidates and inspires. The world belongs to those who stay calm, while others lose control. 2. The 3 seconds that decide your destiny. 3 seconds. That's the window between stimulus and response, where your entire future can change direction. Real example. A CEO is blindsided on live TV with accusations about her company. She has 3 seconds before the business world judges her response. Instead of getting defensive, she pauses and says, "That's a serious concern that deserves a thorough answer." Her stock price goes up the next day because investors trust leaders who stay calm under fire. The 3-second rule. Step 1. Recognize the trigger. Your body tells you before your mind does. Learn the signs. Tension, heat in your face, increased heart rate. Step 2. The pause protocol. Breathe deep. Count slowly. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Ask, what response serves my goals? Step 3. Choose strategically. Engage with purpose. Redirect the conversation or withdraw gracefully to process properly. The athlete's advantage. Serena Williams developed the champion's pause. 3 seconds of controlled breathing between points that separated her from chaos and kept her centered during hostile crowds and bad calls. For the next week, implement the 3-second rule every time you feel triggered. Count it out, then respond from choice, not reaction. 3 seconds to think. A lifetime to benefit. 3. Are you being controlled without knowing it? Right now, there are people who know exactly which buttons to push to make you explode. They've learned that certain words, topics, or tones can make you react predictably. You think you're in control, but you're being remote controlled. The trigger map. Manipulative people maintain a map of your emotional responses. They know bringing up past failures makes you defensive. Questioning your competence makes you over-explain. They use this whenever they want control. The puppet master dynamic. Someone pushes your trigger, you react emotion. They respond to your emotion instead of the real issue. You lose credibility. They win. Common manipulation tactics. Gaslighting. You're being too sensitive. Baiting. deliberate provocations to make you explode, button pushing, using your insecurities against you. The freedom formula. When triggered, ask, what is this person trying to get me to do? How does my reaction serve their agenda? What would serve my agenda here? The power reversal. When you stop reacting, they lose control. They're forced to deal with substance, not your emotions. Often they escalate. Psychologists call this an extinction burst. But if you stay composed, they give up and find easier targets. You are not a puppet. Cut the strings. 4. How to stay calm in the middle of chaos. Chaos reveals character. When projects collapse, people disappoint, and criticism flies, there are two types: those swept away by the storm, and those who become the calm center others gravitate toward. The calm technique. C. Center your breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6. This changes your brain chemistry in 30 seconds. A. Anchor your body. Feel your feet on the ground. Relax shoulders. Unclench jaw. Stand like someone in control. L. Lower your voice. When everyone gets louder, get quieter. This forces others to calm down to hear you. M. Mind your perspective. Ask, will this matter in 5 years, 5 months, 5 days? Most chaos is just noise. Case study. During the 2008 crisis, while other CEOs panicked publicly, Jamie Dimon maintained calm, measured communication. His steadiness preserved confidence and positioned his bank to acquire competitors. His calmness during chaos created opportunity. The thermostat principle. Be a thermostat, not a thermometer. Don't react to the emotional temperature. Set it. When you enter chaos with unshakable calm, you change the entire environment. In a world where everyone's losing their minds, the person who keeps theirs becomes invaluable. 5. The secret pause that saves you from regret. Between every trigger and every response lies a sacred space. In that space is your power to choose. Most people rush through this space so quickly they don't know it exists. Leaders learn to live there. The pause, process, respond method. Pause. Stop everything. Don't speak, text, or act. Protect this moment. Process. Ask 3 questions. What's really happening? Facts, not interpretations. What do I want to achieve? Goals, not emotional satisfaction. What response serves those goals? Strategy, not reaction. Respond. Now engage, but you're responding from strategy, not reacting from emotion. The email that saved a career. Mark received an email from his CEO that felt like a personal attack. His first draft was 4 paragraphs of justification and anger. He paused, walked away, then returned with, "Thank you for raising these. I'd like to schedule 30 minutes to discuss how we can address them together." The CEO later said this response convinced him Mark was ready for promotion. The power question. Before responding to any trigger, ask, 5 years from now, how do I want to remember how I handled this? The pause isn't procrastination, it's preparation. It's the difference between reactive and strategic. 6. Silent power. How leaders dominate without shouting. There's a military general who never raised his voice, never made threats, rarely spoke in meetings. Yet when he entered a room, conversations stopped. When he finally spoke, every word carried the weight of absolute authority. His secret? He understood that true power whispers while weakness shouts. The silent authority principles. Volume inverse law. The more secure your position, the less you need to raise your voice. Insecurity screams. Confidence speaks softly and carries a big presence. The attention magnet. When everyone is talking loudly, the person speaking quietly commands attention. People strain to hear wisdom, but tune out noise. Strategic silence. Sometimes saying nothing says everything. a raised eyebrow, a knowing look, a deliberate pause. These can be more powerful than paragraphs of explanation. Case study. During heated merger negotiations, billionaire Warren Buffett is famous for sitting quietly while others argue, then making one simple statement that settles the entire matter. His silence gives weight to his words. The quiet authority techniques. Speak 20% softer when others get loud. Use fewer words to say more. Let silence do the work after important statements. Respond to aggression with curiosity. Help me understand your concern. Silent power isn't about being passive. It's about being so secure in your authority that you don't need to prove it through volume. 7. Turning emotional battles into emotional victories. Every emotional trigger is actually a hidden opportunity. When someone tries to provoke you, they're handing you a chance to demonstrate superior emotional intelligence, gain respect, and shift the power dynamic in your favor. The Aikido principle. In martial arts, Aikido teaches you to use an attacker's energy against them. Emotional Aikido works the same way. Redirect their aggressive energy into productive outcomes. Instead of matching their emotion, redirect it. Anger. I can see this is really important to you. Help me understand. Criticism. That's valuable feedback. What specifically would you suggest? Disrespect. I want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. The disarming response formula. Acknowledge their emotion without absorbing it. Redirect to the underlying issue. Focus on solutions rather than blame. Real example. A team member publicly challenges a manager's decision in a meeting, using a disrespectful tone. Instead of defending or attacking back, the manager says, "I can see you have concerns about this approach. Let's schedule time after the meeting to discuss your perspective in detail." The challenger, expecting a fight, is completely disarmed. The manager maintains authority while showing respect for feedback. The transformation effect. When you consistently respond to emotional attacks with calm professionalism, something remarkable happens. People stop trying to trigger you because it doesn't work. You become known as someone who can't be rattled, and that reputation becomes one of your greatest professional assets. Turn every emotional battle into a demonstration of your emotional mastery. 8. Calmness, the hidden weapon of the truly powerful. In a world obsessed with aggressive alpha behavior, the most dangerous people are often the quietest ones. They're dangerous not because they'll hurt you, but because they're completely unpredictable. You can't control someone who can't be emotionally manipulated. Why calmness creates fear and respect. Unpredictability. When someone can't trigger your emotions, they can't predict or control your responses. This uncertainty makes you powerful and makes others cautious about testing you. Energy conservation. While others waste energy on emotional reactions, you conserve yours for strategic action. This gives you a massive advantage in any prolonged conflict or negotiation. Moral authority. Calmness in the face of aggression often makes you the moral victor, regardless of the facts. Observers side with the composed person over the reactive one. Historical examples. Gandhi faced the full power of the British Empire with nothing but calm non-resistance. His emotional control made him more powerful than armies. Nelson Mandela emerged from 27 years in prison without bitterness. Speaking to his captors with the same calm dignity he showed supporters. His emotional mastery unified a nation. The calm advantage in modern life. In negotiations, the calmer party almost always gets better terms because they can think clearly while others are emotional. In relationships, the person who stays calm during conflict is seen as the mature one, gaining moral authority. In business, calm leaders inspire confidence. Reactive leaders inspire doubt. Training your calm. Daily meditation. Even 5 minutes builds emotional resilience. Cold exposure, cold showers train your nervous system. Stress inoculation. Deliberately practice staying calm in low-stakes pressure situations. Calmness isn't weakness disguised as strength. It's strength so secure it doesn't need to prove itself. 9. How to train your mind to stay unshakable. Emotional control isn't a talent you're born with. It's a skill you develop through deliberate. Just like building physical muscle, you can build emotional resilience through consistent training. The Unshakable Mind Training System, daily reframing practice. Every trigger is training. When someone cuts you off in traffic, instead of getting angry, think, "Thank you for giving me a chance to practice emotional control." This reframes annoyances as opportunities. The Stoic Evening Review. Each night, review moments when you lost emotional control. Ask, what triggered me? How could I have responded better? What will I do differently next time? This builds pattern recognition and prevents repeated mistakes. Stress inoculation. Deliberately put yourself in mildly stressful situations to build tolerance. Take cold showers, have difficult conversations, speak in public. Like physical exercise, discomfort builds strength. The mental rehearsal technique. Visualize challenging scenarios and practice your calm response. See yourself staying composed during criticism, remaining steady during chaos, responding thoughtfully under pressure. Your brain can't tell the difference between vivid visualization and real experience. Emotional firewall building. Layer 1. Physical. Control your breathing, posture, and facial expressions. Layer 2. Mental. Challenge your interpretations and assumptions. Layer 3. Spiritual. Connect to something larger than the immediate situation. The 30-day Unshakable Challenge. Week 1. Master the 3-second pause. Week 2. Eliminate reactive language. "That's so annoying" becomes "that's interesting." Week 3. Practice the calm authority voice. Week 4. Handle one difficult conversation using these techniques. Neuroplasticity reality. Your brain physically changes based on how you practice thinking and reacting. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you strengthen neural pathways that make future calmness easier. Gratitude for challenges. Thank difficult people for your training opportunities. Your declaration of emotional independence. Starting today, make this commitment. No one gets to control my emotional state without my permission. I choose my responses. I own my reactions. I am the master of my internal world. The ultimate truth. The most powerful people in any room aren't those who can make others react. They're those who cannot be made to react. They've achieved something that appears almost supernatural, complete emotional sovereignty. Your transformation starts now. The next time someone tries to trigger you, remember, this is your moment. This is your chance to demonstrate the power of not reacting. This is where you prove that you're not like everyone else. You have the tools. You understand the psychology. You know the techniques. The question isn't whether you can master emotional control. The question is whether you will. The world belongs to those who stay calm while others lose control. In a reactive world, the unreactive person becomes a king. Your emotions are not your master. You are theirs. Your reactions are not automatic. They are choices. Your composure is not a weakness. It is your greatest strength. The person you're becoming, calm, centered, unshakable, that person changes everything. They lead differently. They love differently. They live differently. That transformation begins with your next interaction. The next time someone tries to push your buttons, remember what you've learned here. Remember that your reaction is your choice. Remember that true power lies not in striking back, but in staying centered. If this message resonated with you, if you're ready to master your emotions instead of being mastered by them, then you need to subscribe to the Book Nook. Every week, we dive deep into the psychology and philosophy that can transform your life. We explore the hidden principles that separate those who drift through life from those who direct it. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because your journey toward emotional mastery has just begun. And in a world full of reactive people, the person who stays calm doesn't just survive, they thrive. Welcome to your unreactive life. Welcome to true power.